Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Installment of Scott Selections here for Sunday, September 26th. Before getting today's play of the day, quick recap of what happened yesterday. A lot to go through, so I'll go through it pretty quickly. We ended up going 2-2 for a negative 0.21 units, so a bit of a losing day, basically broke even. But going through the plays individually, we won in college football overall. We went 2-1 there with Alabama first quarter minus 10.5 against Southern Miss at minus 105 on DraftKings. That one, we had Louisville money line minus 119 on Bet Online against Florida State. That one, and we had Buffalo minus 13 at minus 116 on Bet Online. Buffalo led at 35-7 at the half, and then blew the lead entirely, only won the game by one, got outscored 27-0 in the second half. So Buffalo fell apart. Probably should have swept the college football side, but that unfortunately did not work out. And then we ended up losing the UFC parlay with Dvalishvili money line and Andrade over 1.5 rounds. Dvalishvili won. Tremendous fight in general. Moraes almost knocked him out in the first round, and then he was completely out of gas. Dvalishvili destroyed him and won in the second round by knockout. And Calvillo, I really thought that since she had never been knocked out before in her entire MMA career, that she would do a better job of not standing toe-to-toe with the far superior stand-up artist, and that just didn't happen. Calvillo stood there, and Andrade took her head off, and I'm not really sure what the game plan was by her or the coaching staff. Really just a terrible job all around by her camp, and Andrade ended up winning. So ended up going 2-2, a slightly down day, but nothing serious. We'll look for a bounce-back day here on Sunday. And for the play that we're going to be looking at the NFL, and I like a two-team teaser, a 6.5-point teaser, and that's going to be on some of the early games on the card. Starting with the first game that I'm going to tease down at 6.5 points. Remember that. So it's the Cardinals minus 7.5. We're going to tease that down to -1, and we're going to put that with the Bills -7 and tease that down to -0.5, and that pays out at -130 on Bet Online. Starting with the first play with the Cardinals, I don't really think I need to say much about this matchup because it's the Cardinals against the Jaguars, and I'm sure if you listened to the joint show, the radio show before, you know that I have been down on the Jaguars before the season even started. I thought Urban Meyer was a terrible hire. I thought that this team would be a disaster, and I thought there was a chance this team could be the worst team in the league. And as of right now, this is easily the worst team in the entire league. They got killed by Houston and got killed by Denver. Denver game was closer, but you also had a kick return touchdown there, which made the score more respectable. But there's really nothing Jacksonville does well. They drafted Trevor Lawrence. He's been a turnover machine. And there's really a lack of chemistry between him and Urban Meyer, at least from the system perspective. And the defense was awful last year. They really did nothing during the offseason to address it. And guess what? The defense is still terrible. Meanwhile, you have Arizona, which is a 2-0 team. Should be 1-1, but Minnesota missed the field goal. But the point is that Kyler Murray is a tremendous quarterback who can torch any defense. And the Jaguars defense got torched by Taylor in week 1 and then got torched by Bridgewater in week 2. I think Murray's going to have a field day against this defense, and I do think Arizona should probably put up 30. I think Jacksonville will put up 20, but at the end of the day, I do think Arizona will win this game by at least 2 points in this case, probably by double digits. But anyway, to play it safe, I will buy a couple of points there with the teaser and move it down to 1. And looking at the Bills at -0.5, of course, the Bills had the shocking upset loss in week 1 at home against the Steelers. However, if you actually watched the game and you actually looked at the box score, Buffalo outplayed them for a decent amount of the game. Really awful red zone execution, as well as a blocked punt for a touchdown, really swung the game. And then the Bills responded to that loss by destroying the Dolphins last week on the road, winning that game by 30-plus points. I know Tua got injured midway through the game, and Miami's offense was awful after that. But in Buffalo's defense, the Miami offense was awful before he got injured anyway, because Buffalo's defense is extremely underrated, and I think that's a very good unit. Meanwhile, Buffalo is at home, so we know the crowd is really, really amped. We know how crazy that group of fans are with all the broken tables, etc. But the Bills, really good home team. Josh Allen, really good quarterback. And I do think that defense is still underrated. And they take on Washington. Now, Washington is 1-1, lost a close game with the Chargers. And truth is, Herbert really torched them through the air, 330-plus passing yards. And Washington's defense, which was supposed to be the calling card for this team, has been really, really underwhelming. Because last week, they played the Giants. They probably should have lost the game because Dexter Lawrence went off sides on the missed kick, which allowed them to try again and hit the game winner. But Daniel Jones absolutely torched that team for 240-plus passing yards and 90-plus rushing yards, and Washington really just couldn't get off the field. And I think the issue you're going to run into is the fact that Washington's defense is really just overrated at this point, and I do think that Josh Allen at home should be able to do enough in order to get the job done here. Now, Heinicke, I do think is pretty good. However, the Bills have a good pass rush, and I do think that even if Heinicke plays well, he won't do enough to match the offensive firepower possessed by Josh Allen and company. So I do think the Bills will end up winning that game, whether it's in regulation or in overtime. So once again, the 2-pick NFL teaser that I like, the 6.5-point teaser, is going to be on the Cardinals -1 and the Bills -0.5, and that pays out a -130 on Bet Online. Bye, everyone.